Pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, GLC 30A, Section 18, and the Governor's March 15, 2020 order imposing strict limitations on the number of people that may gather in one place. This meeting of the Library Trustees is being conducted via remote participation. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technological means. Members of the public who would like to participate in the meeting via Zoom can do so by clicking on this long link. Members of the public who would like to listen to this meeting while in progress may also do so via telephone by dialing 1-929-205-6099, entering meeting ID 389-6703-2082, then press pound and press pound again at the next voice prompt. Members of the public attending this meeting virtually will be allowed to make comments if they wish to do so during the portion of the hearing designated for public comment by following the steps previously noted, then press *9 on their telephone keypad or using the raise hand function on Zoom. This will notify the meeting host that the caller wishes to speak. In the event that despite our best efforts, we are not able to provide for real-time access, we will post a record of this meeting on the town's website as soon as we are able. So I call the meeting to order and we will take roll call. So Dan Hall, are you here?
Here.
Right. Eileen McDougall, are you here?
I am.
Don Pearson, are you here?
Present.
Okay. Kathleen Reynolds, are you here?
I'm here.
Okay. Jeffrey Nussbaum, the chair, I am here. And Jim LeMay, are you here yet?
Not yet. He hasn't weighed in,
Okay.
checked in.
Jim is not here yet. And also Tina Stewart is here and Gloria Corcoran. All right. So why don't we get started? And our first item of business is approval of the minutes from September 22nd. So we'll give you a moment to review. Perhaps you've already looked at it, but I'm going to take a second look myself. All right. Anybody want a little more time to look at the minutes? Does anybody have any comments on the minutes? Any corrections to suggest? Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
Kathleen makes the motion. Is there
I'll
a second? Eileen seconds. And we'll go through roll call. Dan, how do you vote?
I will abstain as I wasn't at the meeting last time.
Eileen, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Don?
I vote yes.
Kathleen?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. So the motion passes 4-0 and 1 abstention. Thank you.
We actually have another person that I'm going to have to admit, Jeff, and
Mhm.
go through the same thing, probably ask them to turn off their video. Do you want to just, her name is Pamela Lefebvre.
Okay.
Well, Brad, I can't believe Brad did it on vacation.
He set you up, Tina.
Yes, he did. Okay, I just say I'll admit. We'll take a minute to see. Oh, that's Jim. Jim, you have an alias. You came up Pamela Lefebvre.
Yeah, so Joy's been using my laptop for Circumstance.
Okay.
All right. Welcome, Jim.
So welcome, Jim LeMay. We now have all of our members. That's terrific. just a little bit disappointed that we didn't have a second guest tonight, but Jim, it's good to see you. Okay, so we just approved the minutes and now we'll move on to the financial reports. September financials. I have not had a chance to look at this yet. Give everybody a moment to take a look, and if you have any questions for Tina or Gloria.
I have a question about the library passes, the museum passes. Are people, I mean, I can only think of a few museums that opened and they opened slowly. And they certainly have a limited amount of availability to go into the museum. Does that impact the passes at all?
Well, the ones that have any access are being used. Some of them are being used a little differently. Was it the Museum of Fine Arts? I believe you go on and you register on our website to get the pass, and then you get a ticket number to make an appointment. I think they're like certain. So everyone is a little different. I don't know, Gloria, if you want to weigh in on any of the others. They're all a little different, but they're all, like you said, opening in staggered way, and many of them I think are doing the appointment kind of model.
That's how most of them are. They can go in through our website. Some of the museums have a passcode. All of the museums you have to register and pay online. So if we have a passcode, they can use that to get the discounted price.
Yeah. If you
But
go
it
on our
explains
website,
most
it's pretty
of them.
clear for each one.
Okay, so you had to do a big revamp, because I imagine a lot of them, the last time I took one, I had to come into the library and pick it up.
Yeah, like Gloria said, they kind of try to eliminate that having to come in. So you get the code online and you go, and that provides your discount.
Even
And
if you pick up a pass, you have to reserve
Yeah.
your time slot at the museum.
I wonder if it'll be like that going forward.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, that could be, yeah. And there's other things like the trustees of the reservation. That's different. You get a little ticket, and you can just pick that up, and it's a one-time use. So, yeah, it's always been that every pass is a little different, and that's no different under COVID. But I think the larger museums are definitely doing the code. You go online, you get a code for your discount.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. How about if we start with the financials, does anybody have any questions or comments on the financial report? Okay, then we could maybe move on to the library activity report.
As you noticed, you could see the appointments continued through the month. Through, again, this was our actually second month in September. We started the appointments at the beginning of August. So we had 416 appointments booked in September compared to 342 in August. So there was an increase there. Curbside went down a little, but that's probably because the appointments went up. So, and then of course, the library lawn will continue through this month, but we're just doing it on Tuesday mornings because it's starting to get, it was getting darker, and it couldn't really do library on the lawn right now. But Aaron did it this morning, and we'll do it, as long as like last week, I think it poured, so it was canceled. So we'll do it through the end of this month. I think the weather should be able to be pretty nice yet.
So Tina's Jim, I'm just curious. So where do I see appointments on the circulation stats? Is that on the first page, second page?
Top of the second page.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, top of the second page. I had to look myself, Jim.
Thank you.
I know Gloria has done some things in red there, like curbside delivery, but the appointments are on top.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Interlibrary loan. Oh, we are a lender in September. In
Yeah, I
August,
thought that
we
was
were a-
interesting too. We were in July too, but only by a little bit. But look at the difference between August and September.
Yeah.
There must have been pent up demand, I bet.
Right. Yeah, we're usually a net borrower. That's a very unusual. I'm just wondering because every library is opening slower and maybe not, weren't able to get their books out as much. But yeah, we're usually a net borrower. How much of those are yours, Eileen?
Half?
Six tech help sessions. Okay.
It's interesting, the library website visits are up from, pre-pandemic.
I had a couple of library website visits. Okay.
So it's right above curbside delivery, Jeff. I was just taking a look and
Mhm.
I mean, so August at 24,000 is the high point of the fiscal year so far. It's interesting.
It's hard to know why and where they're going. I think it could be, looking for the, online Zoom links, more people using that, or it could be more people, using the curbside service, which means they're putting holds on books going to the card catalog via the website.
Right.
It's hard to know what's generating the higher use, but it's nice to see.
I agree.
Any other discussion or comments about either report? Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the financials and the library activity reports.
I
I'll
will-
second it.
Second was Kathleen. Okay. All right. Roll call. Dan,
Yay.
Eileen,
Yes.
Don,
Yes,
Kathleen,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes, approve.
Jeff votes yes, unanimous. Motion is approved. Thank you. And back to the agenda. Okay. Next is Tina's report, director's report.
Okay, I'll start with the next phase of the reopening. So as I said earlier, we've certainly been doing the appointments since the beginning of August. And given, Governor Baker has moved to phase 3, step 2, we feel that, after 2 months of the appointments that, and they haven't been heavy. Like I said, all the slots are all full. So 6 appointments for the first floor, plus 2 in the computer and 1 family in the children's room. We feel that we can move to no appointments on the first floor and have people just come in. And the other thing is we feel that with it getting darker, we're going to also have to reduce curbside hours, but back it up to, we had it till 7, back up curbside to 4. So this also, with people being able to come in, we're sort of taking something away, but we're also offering them something. And I think we're just allowing a little bit more convenience, because I think when I think about it, you might be going to Market Basket or post office. Gee, I think I might stop by the library, see if I could pick up a book, but I got to make an appointment. Too much, it's just another step. And I think this will allow people to sort of have a little more freedom to come in. But again, when they come in, it's the same thing. So you only could pick up a book, browse, use the copy machine, and do a fax or, do something that's only going to take, a few minutes, there's still no really in-house sitting at all. And after also we found that I'd say a lot of appointments are made for browsing, and people were just coming in to make a photocopy. You know, a significant number were doing that. And and a lot of times they would come to the door without an appointment and would say, oh, okay, we'll make an appointment for you so you could come in and make this copy. And I don't know if I told you at the last meeting, the RMV was sending everybody here to make a copy of their license plate, excuse me, their driver's license. And they needed a color copy. That they needed this was nowhere on the RMV website. There was no color copy machine at the RMV. So most people said, I would have made it before I went if I knew I needed this. So Gloria and I would hear pounding, you know, not on the hour, but sometimes. Then we put a big sign on the back door that they would have to make the appointment. But we felt bad for them. We always let them in, but we logged them in with an appointment. So we had a lot of people, you know, that came in under the browsing appointment just for making a copy. Or you know, making a photocopy or.
Did you talk to the registry about it at all?
Oh yeah, well, you can't call. Forget trying to call.
Of course not.
Yeah, and I tried to email, and that didn't work. And Charlotte actually drove down. she drove down with little wrap cards saying that you have to make an appointment if you come, and then basically. And the guy said, oh, we don't need that. We'll just send them to Staples. So it really was not very good customer service. Wow. So it seemed to quiet down for a couple of days, and then they were starting to come back again.
But Staples isn't even in town.
I don't know.
That's terrible.
It was not good customer service.
Wow.
Yeah, it has seemed to quiet down, but yeah, and all they needed to do is, if there was a color copy there and they didn't have it, they could just say, hey, the color copy's right there. It's 30 cents, to make a copy. They have to get in the car, go to the library.
Well, at least the library's convenient.
Yeah. Right. But it was the 1 week it was really for Gloria. There seemed to be a lot. And Gloria and I both felt like we were getting up a lot. And again, feeling like, they're there, I need a copy. So we just couldn't send them away. So we let them in. So anyway, but the point is that this will be easier for people to come in to just make a copy and leave. I think it's better customer service and we'll certainly the numbers. I don't expect to go over the amount. We figured, given the fact that the governor say it's 50% capacity, we probably could go up to at least 20 on the first floor, and I don't think we'll ever reach that number where we have to sort of say stop, you wait outside. Which I know that I went to TJ Maxx in Woburn Sunday and I saw the line and I just drove home. I thought I'm not waiting to get into TJ Maxx, and I don't think we'd ever have to tell people they have to wait. But if we all of a sudden had a rush, we may have to do that. But I don't expect that this will be a problem. So that's the one. Those are the changes. Basically, the curbside, and we're going to make rack cards. So when people come to pick up a book, so they know now, starting in November 2nd. That we will be reducing the curbside service hours. So we're going to start promoting that, so make people aware, get the word out.
When you come to the library to pick up a book, are you free to just come inside and pick it up?
Yes. Well, let me say, when you do come in, we're going to have a couple signs. One of them will be checking at the front desk, and there you'll have to use hand sanitizer, and we're just going to check off, a tally that, a number of people that are here on every hour, so we can monitor the numbers and remind people about keeping their masks on, similar to what we're saying at the back door now. And then we're going to have another sign. The children's room, you will need an appointment. So we'll have those booked, and we'll be checking them off on our iPad for that appointment. So if you're coming to the children's room and, the Jeff Nussbaum family will check you off, and then you'll go up to the children's room, but you have to come to the front desk to be checked in. Because I think that we couldn't open the children's room and monitor the numbers. It would be just too hard. I think that we would have a numbers issue in the children's room. So any questions on that? That's basically, the difference is reducing the curbside, backing up the what do you call it? Curbside hours to 4, and then having the library available. I have here 7, but I think we're going to go to 6 because we've had some staff reduction, and a lot of times, like at 7, we're starting these Zoom meetings, and we're pretty lean in the evenings. And the person that's doing the Zoom, who was on the desk till 7, has to get ready for the Zoom program. And until we could get back up to, if we could fill these positions because our evening staff is always a skeleton staff, and I think that might just be easier. And at least, and then we'll expand it if we find that when we get some of our staff back up to fill some of these positions perhaps. And we have one of our full-time staff is out on extended sick leave too. So that brings us down for another month. So we're kind of running a little short. So nothing changes with children's and teens as well, the appointment for the teens. The public computers, they'll be limited to, again, 1 hour per day. They'll be, like in the past, we've always, give me another hour, another 30 minutes. It's really 1 hour. And that's just to limit any person's time here in the building to an hour. And I've emailed all this to Board of Health, Shelley Newhouse gave her thumbs up. And I think I emailed all of you that we went back to the 72-hour quarantine, given the information that I found out, and I think was reasonable from that one of those the virologist out of, I think he was out of maybe Duke University, I can't remember, but he really analyzed the study, and as you know, he felt that this was really an over the top, keeping them from what they could see in terms of the way the Realm study did the virus on the materials was an inordinate amount of virus in the testing. So I think this works and everybody seems comfortable with it. Okay. Again, for programs, we're the voter engagement program, our teen services librarian Brittany really spearheaded it. And now we did, although we did the voter registration in front of the library, nobody came to register, but I do think the presence of, just the visibility is nice. It just dawned on me, we're really using the front of the library a lot more. That's a whole new thing since the COVID, with the library on the lawn. Barbara's done a program, I think a few programs out in the front lawn, and we, the voter registration, and now Brittany's putting out the signs, the 4 freedoms, the kids are doing that. So Barbara has also the kids doing a vote for their favorite children's book. Just trying to do a lot of, just consciousness raising, so to speak, for the getting people excited about voting and making the time to do it. And then Brad McKenna did a nice page on the website with lots of, voter information. And we did a bookmark that we're putting in the books so people are, picking up at the library with all the voter information for Wilmington on it. So I think we're doing as much as we can to engage people with the whole process of voting and bringing it up, making it easier. And I think the town clerk's office really appreciated it as well, the support we've given them. And again, Barbara and her staff have been busy with outreach with the schools. They did a really nice flyer for the schools, for the teachers, and for teachers to give to students to take home to parents of what the services the library offers. Barbara worked with Reading Light to do on the Public Power Week with a children's story time about electricity. Barb, our new assistant children's librarian, has reached out to the businesses and doing this hibernating animal scavenger hunt. And Brittany is always, reaching out to the schools, and she's done the Zoom kind of library and, how to use the library and the databases on Zoom with a couple classes. And so our collaborative author programs are going very well. I thought the Frederick Bachman one was especially interesting. Did any of you watch it by any chance?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, what did you? Oh, yes, of course. Our Swedish
resident Scandinavian.
Yes, our in-resident. Thank you, Eileen. You can only say thank you. Our in-resident. Yes. So, what did you think, Dawn?
He was very open about writing.
Yeah.
And sort of what he what he considers important in stories, in building a good story. It was just great to hear him talk.
Yeah.
The books are fun, and he's fun too.
Yeah, it's just fascinating that he was at home in Sweden, and that our audience ranged from someone from Scotland all over the United States. And
Wow.
yeah, and I have to give credit to Robert Hayes. He landed this author. You know,
Wow.
and yeah, and so he's been very good. He is the Energizer Bunny over there at Tewksbury. He's done a great job, in the collaboration with the other libraries, and has gone quite well. So I think that's another thing when we maybe, sort of under the new normal, more collaboration with other libraries on these kinds of programs.
Mhm.
But they've been really, really wonderful to be able to have this interaction with famous authors. So, and you had asked Jeff about the breakdown on the Facebook views and the Zoom attendees. And I pulled this out of Aaron's report. I said to Gloria, that's exactly what Jeff wants. I'm just going to copy and paste it in.
That was very interesting to see.
Yeah. And so,
A lot of the Wilmington attendance has been a little light.
yeah.
Kim and I were at 1 of 8.
Yeah.
Well, I think people who are working from home have such Zoom fatigue that
Yeah.
it's hard
Absolutely.
to bring yourself to get on one that isn't mandatory.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I think that's why Barbara was trying to do, she did the Yentile story time, and that twice recently, and that went very well. And then doing a few outside programs, and they're going to do something on Halloween outside in the front of the library as well on October 31st. So I do think people are yearning for to be doing something outside. But as you know, the weather's going to be getting colder, and it's going to limit it, if not entirely eliminate it, any outside programs. So, but we'll see. Hopefully, we do have Zoom. Will get us through the winter in some way. So, so I have some personnel news. When I I just started my vacation. I got the phone call from Charlotte that the letter from Linda came from the public for her retirement letter, and I kind of had suspected it. She had kind of mentioned she was thinking about it, so I wasn't surprised. I was just surprised that she was only going to leave in a month. So we kind of I came back from vacation, and it seemed like the weeks went by very quickly. And Jeff Hull came by, and we had a very small ceremony because of the COVID, but she was very pleased to get the official retirement glass apple. And so it was a nice little get together with the staff that were here for Linda. And I think she appreciated it, and she seems very happy. I think when I wrote, didn't tell you, I think I emailed you all, but Lisa Crispin, our part-time library associate, was promoted to Linda's position as the circulation librarian. So she is hit the ground running. She's been here for quite a while, and she's and as I said to Jeff Hull, she is one of the founding members of the Friends. So she's been a library advocate for a very long time. She loves the library. She does the cooking of books. Now she's gone to WCDV, and she's done the cooking of books there. She's extremely excited about this position, lots of enthusiasm, and we're happy to have her as a full-time employee now. Let's see, what's today? Friday. I got another letter from someone else is retiring. Desiree McGuire, our part-time associate, has decided to retire. I think for people like Linda and Desiree, they enjoyed so much of their job was meeting the public, and I just feel I think this just came back here, and certainly it's not the same, and I think they just miss it, and they know that things will be a long time before things get back to where they were pre-COVID. So Desiree's last day is November 14th. So she'll be leaving us, and she's been here for about 14 years.
Wow.
So I'll be meeting with Jeff Hull tomorrow, my monthly meeting. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to fill at least, we have right now have three part-time vacancies. 3 of our part-time associates are vacant. Well, as of including Desiree. So I'm hoping that Jeff will permit, authorize me at least to fit 1, if not 2 out of the 3. So I'll see how things go with my meeting with him tomorrow. And then, of course, some of you were at the Peggy Kane Reading Garden. It was a beautiful day. Family was very pleased, and it's really, really quite nice and lovely to have this come to, to honor Peggy in that way. And Conservation Commission has given me the okay. And all I have to do, Dawn, is I call the Registry of Deeds, and they say I could just, because of COVID, I could just mail the certificate of compliance with a self-addressed envelope, and they'll do the recording and send me back the information I need to give to the commission. So
Good.
It's easy peasy. I'm done.
You didn't want to take another trip up there.
I was ready to go because the woman I spoke with, she said, "Oh, we have a Dropbox, and you have to put it in a Dropbox." And she said, "You could just mail it." I said, "Oh, that sounds better than driving up to put it in the Dropbox."
Yeah.
Make sure you include a self-addressed envelope for
Yes,
them
they
to
did.
return the docs.
They've moved, Kathleen. Have you been in the new courthouse?
I
you
have
gone there?
not.
Yeah,
Nope. No. But I'm sure it's beautiful.
Yeah. I think that's it until we go to new business on the statues. So I don't.
I had a question.
Mhm.
Back with the hours and all. No library visits on Saturdays.
Yes. The reason for that is that we do not have a custodian on Saturday.
Oh, okay.
So we don't. That's why we don't allow the public in, because we open up on Monday and Pat doesn't come in till, our custodian does not come in till 3. And so right now he starts cleaning as soon as we close the library to the public, because he's doing extra cleaning.
Yeah.
And that's another reason that we sort of close early, because he's doing a lot more because of the COVID, a lot more of this. He goes around with this Ghostbuster thing on his back, and so yeah, so that's one of the reasons. And the other thing is that we do have we have a skeleton staff, and but we had intended when we did this, and Pat, we were thinking, oh my gosh, we can't. We have to make sure that when we open up on Monday that the whole place is clean. So anyway, that was the reason.
Okay.
And is that a temporary reason? Will he be coming back as custodian, or?
No, we never had a custodian on Saturday.
Oh, never had one on Saturday.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Tina, is there anything else on your report?
No, I'm ready to go on and talk about turtles and frogs.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions for Tina on her report? Okay. Well, why don't we talk about turtles and frogs?
So I put in my report the response to the email on all. I believe he answered all your questions about the warranty, the being able to set them securely into the ground, and about the one question was, are you aware of any of the pieces, the eyeglasses on the frog being broken up? No, but I understand your concern. I would recommend having the main frog with glasses, very strong and durable. None of the baby frogs, or no glasses at all. Many libraries choose that option. Just for, I know Nicole is listening, we're looking at buying in the Peggy Kane Reading Garden 2 statues. One is a frog with a book, and the other is a turtle. He has borders wetlands. And there's been sort of some questions that the trustees had that I've reached out to the vendor to get some answers before they voted on using some of our money in the Barbara Johnson bequest to fund these. So I guess just seeing the my report, have you had a chance to read it, and are all your questions answered?
I do have one.
Mhm.
It's the one about the purchase order. Can you
Yeah.
provide me with a purchase order? And then he said something that didn't seem to connect with your, with.
Yeah,
our
I had that, that was me. They give us the invoice, and then, I create the purchase order, not him.
Okay, so it's clear that,
Yeah, right.
that will
Is that
work.
correct? Yeah, yes.
All right, good.
I
And
think
Other
the
dis-
last meeting we had, there was conversation about whether both would fit or whether one was enough. And I don't know if anybody had the chance to.
Well,
Take a
when we
closer
went
look
to
at
the Peggy Keene ceremony, Jeff and Eileen were there, and I don't know if Eileen was there when Jeff and I were looking at the space. And according to these gentlemen I've been sort of in communication with, they're really not that big. In terms of, there is enough of space within the garden to place them on the perimeter or right in between bushes. One of the things I think I talked to Dawn about, we have 2 rain barrels there now, and the rain barrels, I think were a great idea, and especially when we were trying to get the first season of getting everything going, keeping remember I had the hose across the parking lot and watering it, but right now, I think the rain barrels aren't necessary, and it's hard to keep the rain barrels full in order to keep the soaker hose wet. And so I think one of them, where one of the rain barrels is located, we could put one of the statues. And then the other one we could put somewhere, which I think the turtle would try to keep out of the sun just so it doesn't get hot, maybe on the shady side of the breeding garden. So that's sort of my thoughts of where they could go. We could certainly take a look when they come before we nail them into the ground to see where they look the best. But Dawn, the rain barrels, one of them I bought and belongs to the library, and one of them is yours, correct?
Yep,
Okay, so you're going to take yours and you're going to leave the one that's the library's here.
right, yeah.
Right. Okay. Okay. I'm not sure I'm going to do with that rain barrel.
So you're not going to use it at all next year in either side? You don't
I
think?
don't think so. I don't think I'm going to use it at all next year. But you know what? I'll wait. You know what? Maybe I'll keep it by that tree, because the tree, if anything, needs to be kept. That would be the only place I would keep. I would keep maybe I'll keep the one.
Okay. Yeah, as I said in the email, I'll come by with a hose, drain them.
Yeah.
and, you can store yours and I'll take one home with me. So,
Okay. Okay.
All right. Any other questions about the little statues? I guess my comment is I like it. I like the idea of getting both of them. And I think I like the idea of getting the big frog with the glasses and maybe not on the little frogs.
Is that what he
Anyway.
suggested?
That was what he suggested, yeah.
I agree.
Sounds good.
So is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to buy both reptiles,
Okay.
And
but as described in the vendor's specifications to only have glasses on the big one.
only glasses on
And
the
for the
big
price
frog.
that and for the price that he quoted us.
Right.
And the price is
Got it.
$91.50
Right.
to be funded from, were we funding this from the Barbara Johnson money?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that your motion, Eileen?
Yes.
Okay.
Seconded.
And Kathleen seconds. Is there any other discussion? Are we happy with the motion? Does anybody have any adjustments we need to make?
No.
Okay, well, why don't we vote then? Dan, how do you vote?
Yes.
Okay, Eileen?
Yes.
Eileen votes yes. Don?
Yes,
Don votes yes. Kathleen?
Yes.
Kathleen votes yes. Jim?
Yes.
Jim votes yes, and Jeff votes yes. The motion carries unanimously. Very good. I thank the vendor for their patience.
Okay, yeah, I will. Thank you. So, you know, one of the part of my report, I did say that we did have the install of the meeting room walls on the first floor. And there were 2 panels that were measured incorrectly, so they're coming back to take care of that November 6th. It's the room looks fairly large, and
Yeah,
I think
it looks
I
good.
think it will be well used. So we'll have to figure out how we're going to monitor that. It's not just for one person. We're thinking of, you know, a small group meeting in there, or, you know, at least minimum 2. So because that's what we seem to have the need for, people looking to meet, like have a small space to meet, which is because we can't use the Banda room, and it's used for programs when I'm talking about the normal, and also the meeting, the large conference room. The other thing before I end my report, which I didn't include, is that in July of 2021 is the 150th anniversary of the library. So yes, 150 years. So it's done the action plan to plan for this fiscal year to plan something. So we're just beginning to sort of think about what we may want to do. And the part of the problem, as you know, with COVID, we're not sure what we're going to be able to do. But we were going to perhaps invite, before COVID, I had spoken with Joan Searforce, who was then on the 4th of July committee, and she's no longer on it, but I thought it'd be great. You know how they always do T-shirts for the 4th of July? And I said, what do you think the committee would be open to kind of incorporating the library's 150th onto their T-shirts that they sell? And she thought that it would be a good idea, but you know, we didn't get very much, we didn't go any further when we shut down, and Joan now is not on the committee. But I thought it might be a good idea to, you know, Diane DiGregorio is also on the 4th of July committee, and she's been very involved in the library. She served on the strategic planning committee a couple years ago, and she's on the 4th of July committee. And then Terry McDermott from the Heart and Tavern being our expert on history, and someone from the Friends and someone from the Trustees, sort of to maybe have a quite of an ad hoc committee, just to talk about, you know, what do we want to do to highlight this you know, important event in a way that would you know, bring it to the attention of the town. So I'm thinking of sort of reaching out to those people and trying to come up with a nice celebration, and the how we celebrate it will really be probably to some degree be driven by what we can do with any type of restrictions given the COVID and the pandemic. But anyway, those are just some, I just wanted to let you know that that is not that far away, 150 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And now I guess we're on to new business. Is there any new business? Tina, do you have any new business?
Oh no, I guess that was at the 150th anniversary. I just,
Okay.
just to let you know that. No, nothing else, Jeff.
Okay. Trustee comments? Dan, anything that you
Sure, yeah. So a few weeks ago, we had our memorial service for Keith West, one of our members of the library community. He would run the Great Decision group, and unfortunately, he passed away during this time. So it was nice to get together and kind of reflect on his sort of effect on all of our lives. So it was a really nice conversation. Charlotte, I thought, organized that really, really well, and I know that the recording has been sent to his wife and family, which I thought was really nice. So something I was proud I was able to take part in.
Thank you, Dan. Don, do you have any comments to make? Don says no. Eileen?
I do. First of all, I want to thank Dan and Charlotte for organizing the Zoom tribute to Keith. I thought it was cathartic and great. And I was since saw a posting on Facebook where in the Keith group, there's a Facebook group in honor of Keith where we were invited to make donations in his honor to the Speech and National Speech and Debate Forensic League, which I did, and I got some very nice mailings from them. So that was great, you know, all in the interest of supporting what he loved and making me feel a little less sad about him not being with us. The other, speaking of people who weren't with us, today I taped a show at WCTV called Talk of the Town, which is their efforts to inject a little happiness into COVID misery. And my guest was Stacy Benoit, Peggy's daughter. And they wanted to do a little segment on the Peggy Kane Reading Garden. So Stacy and I chatted for about 10 or 15 minutes about the garden. And Tom Pizarro had gone out and shot video of the garden. So that should be coming out soon. And I think it'll be very nice. And we didn't cry too much, only a little bit. So, so when that comes out, I'll make sure Tina gets the link out to everybody.
Great. Great.
Good, good.
Thank you.
Thanks, Eileen. Kathleen, any comments?
Yeah, I don't have much to say tonight. I think I'm exhausted like everybody else from COVID, and I'm feeling really disconnected from my community, whether it's this community or my work community. I'm finding that my skills are waning. I'm really missing being in court amongst my colleagues. I'm missing connecting with staff members at courthouses and just being around people. You know, I'm really tired. Like most of us or all of us, I'm ready for the rebirth of our community. So hopefully it will happen sooner than later.
Amen.
Yes. Thank you. Jim?
I guess I'm looking forward to being able to go in and browse on the first floor.
We'll welcome you with open arms, Jim.
Well, at least with
Socially
elbow bumps
distant.
anyway.
Yeah.
All right. 6 feet, right? 6 feet apart.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot of things on my reading list that I'm not getting to. And as everyone will tell you, I'm a slow reader. So, you know, I'm never going to be able to read as much as I'd like to. Well, I don't know about never, but I haven't been able to read as much as I'd like to for, I don't know, since elementary school started. So, so hopefully I'll be able to carve out more time and browse more, read more. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay. Thank you. All I'll say is that today I sold an enormous Louisiana cookbook on behalf of the Friends. The package weighed 12 pounds.
Yeah.
I sold the book for $85.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Jeff, you know where it came from?
I've had it for, I don't know, 3 or 4 months, and I don't
So
know.
Jeff, did you flip through it to make sure like the pages weren't hollowed out inside, like, you know, gold or something in there?
Or crabs or something like that.
Right. No.
Ammunition.
Is that the highest sale you've had, Jeff?
I think I've been a little over 100. I don't think I've hit 200. But I think
Wow.
I've had a few that have been 100, 150.
Congratulations. That's
Do you have
great.
a
Thank you.
total of what you've how much you've sold since you started? You probably
I could probably
has
figure it out. I don't know. Kim keeps track of it, and then
Yeah.
I have some ability to go online and figure it out.
Yeah, we need a running total.
Yeah, that's great. Really good. I got an email for someone just before the meeting, Jeff, and I was going to forward it to you. He said, does the library take old textbooks? And of course we do not. And I know the bookstore does. And I was going to forward his email to you. And
I sell textbooks.
Yeah, and I think the first question you want to know is like when he said old, what does old mean to him? Is it 5 years or 20 years? So I will respond to him and copy it to you.
Yeah. It turns out that there's so much variability in what it's worth. I have a book that I use regularly, textbook or technical style book, and the price has gone up, even used, to like
Oh, wow.
$300.
Wow.
$300.
Wow.
And a lot of books from the 50s,
Really?
engineering books from the 50s are worth
Wow. I would have never thought.
$50 or more.
Look forward to
Mm, wow.
And then there's a lot that are worth nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so we take the donations, we look at them, and then it'll go to Discover Books if we don't have a use for it to make any money.
Yeah. Well, the engineering subject makes sense. I'll say from a tax and law perspective, yeah.
No, God.
They don't age well.
Do
Right.
they even do textbooks for tax
Well,
law?
and yet I've sold a handful of law books and law type books.
Wow.
So you don't know.
Hmm. Jeff,
Accounting,
did you
not
take
so
all
much.
the books from my office that were withdrawn, all those local history books?
I did. Was I
You
supposed
did.
to?
No, yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
I didn't know if that I thought you were gonna kind of pick and choose, so you just took them all. Okay, I just wanted to
Yeah.
make sure.
Well, and it turns out, I'm looking at them now.
Okay.
So it was like 5 boxes, and I was
Oh,
able
yeah,
to list.
okay.
I was able to list maybe 2 boxes,
Oh,
and then
good.
the other 3 are a challenge for me.
Okay.
And
All
I
right.
may end up having a discussion with Leslie to
Yeah.
see if she has any advice on how to sell them or list them.
Yeah. Okay. That's good.
Okay. And that's all that I have. So I think we would move on to public comments.
Let me see.
Be
Nicole, are you still
Nicole, if
there?
she's still there.
I am still here.
Could if you would like, you could put your video back on. There you are.
I did. I just wanted to say, of course, I know it's a public meeting, but thank you anyway for humoring me being here. My family and I are relatively new residents to Wilmington, so we have 2 school-age children. So I do have that perspective for the town itself. And I'm not sure if Tina mentioned, I'm also a library director in a town not far away. Tina and I had met, I actually came to visit once. It now seems like a long time ago. But I want to be a library supporter, whatever form that comes in the future, the near future especially. But I wanted to get to know all of you as board members and the dynamic, and then, to decide then how I can help. But I've mentioned to Tina earlier today that I've been impressed and happy with a lot of the programs that have been offered, especially around race and race relations and all the partnerships with other libraries for some of those programs. It's really been wonderful. And the library does have a positive image in the community. I mean, despite frustrations with limited services. So you're doing a great job. But I just wanted to introduce myself, of course.
Well, welcome, and thanks for coming.
Sure.
Hopefully you know about the Friends of the Library, and
I do.
certainly that's another way of volunteering and supporting the library.
Yep.
And
I will do that.
We have more positions and maybe more open positions on the Friends board, and you don't have to be a board member to be helping out with the Friends.
Right.
I point out, for example, the bookstore. And, in the past, we've had a very, very easy time getting volunteers to work at the bookstore. And since COVID, well, we were closed for a while, but now that we're partially reopened, it's a little bit harder for the bookstore volunteers, the bookstore manager, to find enough volunteers.
Okay.
So Martha Stevenson and Marion Kane run the bookstore.
That I have been in there. I've been in there more than I've been in the library, I'll have to confess. But Tina had mentioned as much earlier, and at least I have somewhere to start in the short term in showing my support.
That's terrific.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you and welcome.
Sure, thank you.
Right. Nicole, was there anything else?
No, thank you. That was it.
Okay. Tina and trustees, is there anything else for tonight's meeting?
I think we're all set.
Okay. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a
make-
motion to adjourn.
A motion, we have a second. I didn't catch who made the motion in second.
It was Kathleen and I, so whoever did what.
Okay, all right. So, Dan,
Yes.
vote. Eileen,
Yes.
Don,
Yes.
Kathleen,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
and Jeff votes yes. It's unanimous. We are adjourned, and thank you for coming. Our next meeting is Tuesday, November 17th.
Thank you, everybody. Nice to
Bye,
see you.
everybody.
Everyone, bye.
Good to see you.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks all.
Good
We'll see you.
night, guys.
Bye now.
Bye.
See you next month.
And Tina, well done on Zoom.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. Nothing too. It didn't shut down on me and everything. So now I'll have to ask Brad to look at the recording to make sure everything else went there. So thanks guys.
Okay,
Have a nice
thank
night.
you. Good night.
See ya.